You won't believe what this family discovered. You know that moment when you install a camera at home thinking you'll catch something ordinary, like your dog stealing food from the table or sleeping on the forbidden couch? Well, this family was about to discover something completely different, something that would forever change how they saw their four-legged best friend. And before I tell you this incredible story, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any emotional stories like this one. Trust me, you'll want to follow every word of what comes next. The mystery no one could explain. It all started when the owners noticed something strange happening every morning. Their 5-year-old son's bedroom door was always slightly open, even though it had been closed the night before. Nothing seemed out of place, nothing was broken or messy, but that door was always open. At first, they thought it was the wind. Then, maybe the lock was faulty. But the truth? The truth was something no one could imagine. Drop a like if you've ever had an unexplainable mystery happening in your house. The mother of the family, named Sarah, started getting worried. What if it was something serious? What if someone was entering the house during the night? Fear began to take over, especially when she thought about her young son's safety. That's when her husband, Michael, had an idea. Install a camera in the bedroom, one of those simple security cameras with night vision that would stay on all night. They needed to find out what was happening. The discovery that changed everything. What they saw the first few nights was, well, nothing special. Their son sleeping peacefully, the house silent. But on the third night, around 2 a.m., something happened. Wait, are you already subscribed to the channel? Because you won't want to miss this part. The camera caught movement. On the black and white screen of the night vision, a familiar silhouette appeared. It was Max, the family's 7-year-old golden retriever. But what was he doing there, in the hallway at that hour of the morning? That's when everything started making sense, in a way no one expected. Max walked slowly to the bedroom door. With his snout, he pushed the door gently, opening it carefully to avoid making noise. And then, he went inside. The nightly ritual no one knew about. Sarah and Michael watched, completely mesmerized, as Max approached their son's bed. The dog wasn't doing anything wrong. He was doing something extraordinary. With careful movements, as if he knew exactly what he was doing, Max positioned himself beside the bed. And then, something magical happened. If you're enjoying this story, leave your like and share it with someone who loves animals. The golden retriever stood there just watching the boy sleep. But it wasn't just an observation. It was a vigil, a silent and protective watch that happened every night without anyone knowing. The camera kept recording, and what came next made the parents cry with emotion. But why did Max do this? Why was this nightly ritual so important to him? The answer lay in something that happened 6 months earlier, something the family had almost forgotten, but Max would never forget. The little boy, whose name was Ethan, had gotten very sick. Severe pneumonia left him hospitalized for 2 weeks. Those were days of uncertainty, fear, and prayers. And Max felt it all. He felt the boy's absence, felt the family's desperation. Hit that notification bell for more stories that will touch your heart. When Ethan finally came home, fragile but recovering, Max didn't leave his side. It was as if the dog had made a silent promise. He would never let anything bad happen to his best friend again. And that promise became the nightly ritual the camera captured.
What science says about this behavior? Did you know that dogs can sense when something is wrong with their owners? Scientific studies prove they can detect subtle changes in our behavior, our smell, and even our breathing. Max wasn't just watching over Ethan. He was literally taking care of the boy's health. Animal behavior experts explain that dogs who have gone through traumatic experiences, like a family member's illness, can develop intensified protective behaviors. Leave in the comments, has your pet ever done something that completely surprised you? But Max and Ethan's story goes beyond science. It speaks to something all of us who have pets know well: unconditional love. The details that move millions. When Sarah and Michael shared the video on social media, they didn't expect the reaction it would have. Millions of people watched, millions of people cried, and millions of people started sharing their own stories. One mother told how her cat always slept on her daughter's heart monitor who had heart problems. Another father revealed his Labrador barked whenever his son had an asthma attack, alerting the family even before the boy noticed. If you're emotional, give it a like and subscribe for more incredible stories. But what touched people most was the purity of Max's gesture. He wasn't expecting a reward. He wasn't looking for attention. He simply loved that boy with every fiber of his canine being. The lesson we need to learn. This story teaches us something profound about our pets. They aren't just animals. They are family members, silent guardians, loyal friends who love us in ways we humans often can't fully understand. How many times have we judged a nighttime bark as inconvenient? How many times have we ignored when our cat insists on staying close to us? How many times have we failed to notice the subtle signs that our pets are taking care of us in the best way they know how? Share this story with someone who needs to appreciate their pet more. Max taught us that love doesn't need words. He showed us that dedication can be silent but absolute. And he proved that sometimes the best protectors come with 4 paws and a heart bigger than the world. What happened after? Today, 3 years after discovering Max's nightly ritual, a lot has changed in this family's life. Ethan grew up, became strong and healthy, but Max continues making his nightly rounds. Now, however, the family no longer sees this as a mystery. They see it for what it really is, an act of pure and true love. Sarah says she can never sleep anymore without thinking about Max walking through the hallways, checking if everyone is okay, fulfilling his self-imposed mission as the family's guardian. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next stories. And you know what's most beautiful? When Ethan discovered what Max was doing, he started leaving the door always slightly open to make his best friend's job easier. To say, without words, that he also loves and trusts that golden dog who protects him every night. Why this story went viral? You might be wondering, why do stories like this touch our hearts so much? Why do millions of people stop to watch, cry, and share? The answer is simple, because they remind us of what really matters. In a world full of problems, worries, and negativity, stories like Max and Ethan show us that pure goodness still exists, that unconditional love still exists, that heroes still exist even if they have 4 paws and a wagging tail. If this story moved you, leave your like now. The final message. So next time you look at your pet, remember, you might not know everything they do for you. You might not see the small protective gestures, the moments of silent vigil, the times they're simply there, taking care of you in their own way. Max is just one among millions of incredible animals doing extraordinary things every day, and each one of them deserves all the love, care, and respect we can offer. Because in the end, they're not just our pets, they're our family, our protectors, our best friends. Now I want to know from you, has your pet ever done something that left you speechless? Tell us in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell for more emotional stories like this one. Share this video with someone who needs to be reminded of how special animals are. See you in the next story.